Hello. Hi, everyone. I was trying to go live for like a whole minute and it wasn't doing it. So let me know you can hear me and see me out there. Hopefully, the next place I'm at will have better internet at this time of day. Um, anyway, welcome in. Lucy says hi. Let me scroll down before I start greeting everybody. Let me scroll down and make sure you can hear me and see me. Hello, can everyone hear me and see me? Can anyone hear me and see me? Please let me know, seriously. Yes. Hi. Okay. Well, yes, good. Okay. Thank you. Because I never know. I mean, it says it's live, but because the internet connection is so bad. Thank you guys. Okay, let me go back and greet people. So Pamela J, welcome in, and James, how you doing, buddy? Glad you did the Lucy appreciates the llama emoji. Hi, soul poet. I didn't know your name was Tirza. Wasn't that the name of Ben-Hur's sister in Ben-Hur? I think it was Tirza. I seem to remember that. Anyway, hi, John Brent and Leanne from Germany, and Julie Ann and Ms. Sierra, Anne Maria, Susan, welcome in. Repent, welcome in. Diana by the beach. I was by the beach today. I'll tell you guys a little bit. I'll give you a teaser. I'm doing a whole video. I did a whole video on it, so I'm not going to tell you too much, but hi, Trippin. Hi, Lisa. Great Gaza, Tia, Cindy, Susan, Dennis. Hi, Marie from Stockholm, Susan from Australia, Nordic Light from Göteborg. I don't know how to say it. I'm sure I'm butchering it. Sorry. Hi, Jean-Marc. Welcome in. Sultan or Sultan. Sultan. It's like, I sound like one of the. Did anybody ever watch this? It's like I don't know where the show is originally broadcast, but I always watch bits of it on YouTube. Or maybe it's Facebook. It's the Magnificent Century about the Ottoman Empire. Anybody watch that? Anyway, they always talk about the Sultana, or the Sultan. So I'm like, I say it like that. Hi, Gail. Hi, Inner You. Welcome in, my wonderful moderator, Inner You. I'm an elfer. Did you mistype that, Inner You? Elfer. I could be an elfer today. Let's see. Connie from Gainesville. I'm trying to pick up new names here. Land. Why I'm hitting the wrong button here. Susan, Lori. Okay. Trying to catch up. Coastal Manifestation, Cindy, Tia, X-Pac, Hidden Gems, Brian. I probably missed somebody. I'm sorry. Someday Came. Let's see. Julie, Dolores. Okay. James has got more llamas there. Hi, John. See you too. Hi, Graham. Lotus Petal. Elaine. Jenna. I'm glad you could catch a live, Jenna. I don't know how awake I am tonight. It's 8:00 my time because of the time difference thing. And so I'm tired. I went to the beach today, and so I'm just kind of tired. Anyway, let's see. Brickaloos, welcome in. Hi, Liz, Sharon, Lincoln, welcome in. Carmen, Violets and Roses. Hi, guys. Monica. Hi, guys. Okay. I think I'm caught up. kind of. I know I missed some names. I'm sorry, guys. I scrolled up and then tried to scroll down to catch everybody. Welcome in. And Lucy says hi. She went to the beach also. You'll see a couple of clips of her on the video that's coming out Sunday. But yeah, we made it to Cannes, which is the beach that you get to on the number 3 bus. And it went fine. And I loved it over there. I'm going to go back next week. I am. I'm going to go back. I want to walk a little bit more up and down the boardwalk thing. And I'm not going to give it away what I did today, but you'll see it on the video. But I did have a nice lunch. The thing I liked about it over there was it was mostly older people, a lot of retired people walking around, and I felt very safe there. There was no like anything weird going on or whatever. So no, I didn't catch a tan. I don't think I was out in the sun that long, but anyway, it was really nice. I loved it. And I don't know about you guys, but sea air is the best. So anyway, and I just realized I had not been by the ocean or the sea for ages. I mean, because I lived way east in Northern California, never got over to the ocean in the last 6.5 years. So I think the last time I saw the ocean was in 2017. So yeah, I loved it. I loved it out there. So Lucy loved it too. She wanted to get in the water, and I said, "It's going to be a mess. You're gonna kill yourself if you go in the water, Lucy. You can't do that." So it is healing. It is very healing. Well, some people, I love the mountains too. I don't. If somebody asked me like which I loved more, the mountains or the sea, it'd be a tough call. I don't know. Because I really do love both. My mother was a mountain person. She loved the mountains. She did not like the ocean. And but for me, I'm always like 50-50. I went to Canet en Roussillon, it's called. It's Canet, Canet. And it's a seaside community here in southwest France. Beautiful. It was kind of like a poor man's Cannes. Cannes, where they do the famous film festival on the Mediterranean. Yeah, this is a poor man's Cannes, but it's my speed because I couldn't make it in Cannes. So, yeah. So you guys watch the video Sunday, and you'll see footage of all that. And it was lovely, and I had a nice lunch. Although I got to tell you guys, I don't know what it is. I have been having overall just not the best food. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I've had a couple of really good Caesar salads because, they have Caesar salad almost at every restaurant, and they all do it a little bit different, but it's all just delicious. Every Caesar salad I've had has been great. As far as other food I've had, today, part of it was good, like the Caesar salad part, and then part of it was like, yeah. So, but I remember when I was in France 23 years ago, of course, I was just in Paris then. I had amazing food. So I'm really missing what I consider the really traditional French food, which I think I'll get more of in Dijon. So I think it's just the cuisine here. They have a lot of Spanish influence. They have actually a lot of Italian food, which I find odd in this part of France. I could understand if it was southeastern France near the Italian border, but there's a lot of, and don't get me wrong, I love Italian food, but it's just, I wanted, French food. Susan, I tried steak frites at one restaurant and it was horrible. So I got totally bummed out about that. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I have really had bad luck in getting great food. I mean, today wasn't horrible. It just wasn't great. It wasn't like, and I thought I was getting something more kind of traditionally French. And so you'll see a picture of it on the video thing. So anyway, so I hope everybody's doing okay. Happy Thursday. Um, I'm here 2 more weeks until I move on to Dijon. And so we'll have 2 more live streams from here, and then I'll have 4 live streams from Dijon. And then after that, it's a free for all. No, we'll do live streams most weeks, but there will probably be 1 or 2 that I'll have to either move the day or something like that. So anyway, I'll hope all of you have had a really good week. Hi, Kat Z. She's notifying us that Perpignan has a notable Italian culinary presence. Oh, they had a significant wave of Italian immigration? Okay. There you go. I don't know why I should mind at all. I'm half Italian. So speaking of which, update on that. If you guys didn't hear the news this week, just when I started thinking about the potential of applying still for Italian citizenship by blood ancestry, they changed the rules. Italy's gotten really upset with, I guess, giving out too many citizenships to probably Americans. And they have changed the regulations on it, or the requirements, I guess is the way to say it. And now they will not do citizenship for great grandparents, just through your parent or grandparents. That's it. And so if you don't, and I know I do not meet the qualification through my grandparents, because they still would have had to remain Italian citizens before my dad was born, and they did not. So yeah, I know. Just when I was actually considering it again, I was like, great. So that's out. That's out. That's a done, that's over with. Thank you, Beth, very much. Appreciate that. I love the emoji you picked for that. Okay, Lisa's talking about the clothing. Okay, I have to discuss this with you guys. So this is funny. I came out with that video because I had to buy. Actually, you're sitting on my new suitcase right now because I have to put my laptop on something to get it high enough to work for the live stream. And it's sitting on the new Delcy Paris suitcase, which is fine. I wish it was an expandable suitcase, but I could not get a super expensive one. This was not super expensive. And so I'm going to address some things people said in the comments. First of all, people were getting on me about getting a decent suitcase. Well, you know what? If I got a budget suitcase, it would fall apart. So if I'm going to get a suitcase that's going to stand up to travel for a few months, I can't get a $70 suitcase. I'm sorry. It just doesn't, it's not going to work out. So there is a table, Cat, but the suitcase is sitting on the table and it's not a big table. So anyway, what was a great suggestion? Yeah, what's weird, and everybody suggested the compression things. I got some compression things before I left the US, and I tried them out. And I have to say, they weren't the vacuum ones. They were just the normal ones that you put stuff in and then you extra zip it to compress it kind of thing. It just didn't work that well. It just seemed to, that's why I didn't do it, because it just didn't seem to be that effective for what I needed. So I didn't do it. And I know the vacuum ones do work a lot better. But I didn't get those ahead of time. So anyway, people were giving me, let me explain something else so that I don't get a lot of, Guys, I already have the suitcase, the carry-on that actually was the match to the Beast that I gave away. I already gave that away, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But, so I have the carry-on, which is like a 21-inch or whatever. But I also have it's not really a backpack, but it's like a backpack. It just doesn't fit the same way as a backpack over my shoulders, but it's about the same size as a backpack. I already have one of those. So everybody's telling me to get a backpack. Well, I already have something that's like a backpack. The problem is it still was not enough room with just two of those. So by getting this smaller suitcase, which is actually a little smaller than the other carry-on, um, I can maneuver both of them. They roll really well. I shouldn't have a problem. I can get them onto the train in most cases. So I had to do this for now. Now, if down the road, like by the time I get to the UK and I'm tired of lugging these on trains, I may just, like I said, go down to 3 or 4 changes of clothes and that's it. But it's a real problem. You know, everybody, I had a bunch of people, and I'm not saying you guys did it, but I had a bunch of people that were, saying, oh, well, I've always traveled with just the backpack and one suitcase. Like, but then they admitted that they didn't have a bunch of filming equipment and a laptop and an iPad and like a stand and like things like that, or like an extra camera and stuff. They didn't have that stuff. So it is really hard to do with just the care. If I could have just have one suitcase, I would rather have had a bigger suitcase and then just do that in like the backpack slash case that I have. And but the problem is I can't maneuver a bigger suitcase. I just can't. They're too heavy. So yeah. So at least these smaller suitcases, they're only about 20 something pounds each. So I should be able to get them on the train with no problem and stuff. So anyway, thank you, Jean-Marc. And thank you, Kat, for understanding. Yes, I do. And I might get desperate. And like I said, like the Oregon Trail, and I'd be tossing more stuff out as I go. But for now, I just downsized to this, which means I still have to I'm getting rid of some clothes. That's the thing you saw in the thumbnail, the clothes I was holding, that's stuff that's going. So, yeah, you use Lucy's. Lucy doesn't have a suitcase. She has to fit in my pseudo backpack. I need a Sherpa. That's exactly right. I do need a Sherpa. But since I'm not climbing Everest or even where do they use Sherpas even in Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa? Yeah, unless I'm climbing a mountain, I don't really get a Sherpa, unfortunately. So yeah. Oh, Nordic Light's asking a good question. Let me address that. So will I continue with 180 days? I don't know. That's my best answer to you. I have no idea. I have a return ticket to the US for October 8th, but it's refundable and changeable. So I can always alter it. I will probably not make that decision till maybe August, maybe even September. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have a lot, this has kind of been my place to kind of get used to being overseas, just kind of get my footing, get my grounding to the whole thing, which it is working. I mean, it is happening. I am getting accustomed to the new lifestyle I have. But from now on, it gets a lot busier. I mean, Dijon is kind of like an intermediary step because I have a month there, but then it's going to get really busy. And but I have to make a decision. I'm going to have to. I don't know if France is going to be a place that I can put in for residency and get it. I'm going to need to probably consult with somebody. And I might, Jean-Marc suggested, I know back a while ago that I talked to the company in the UK or about that. You know, France, you have to go through a new visa processing company. They left VFS Global, and now they're with a different company too. So I don't know what that would mean. There's a lot of, but there might be other countries that are going to be easier. There are countries that I can actually apply to get residency from within the country. In other words, I don't have to go back to the US to do it. So I'm looking at that. Cynthia, yeah, I'm going to be going to Albania for at least 5-6 weeks in the summer. I am going to spend some time there. And I mean, technically, I could live there for a year without a problem. But the problem is, I want to be somewhere where I have the potential for getting on getting medical system, you know, like getting into their system, because otherwise it's just, you know, it's going to be annoying. At best, it's going to be annoying. So I will see. I'm going to see. I mean, there's like Cynthia mentioned Germany. I can actually pretty easily get up to a 1-year visa to study in Germany, like just study German. As long as I'm registered for a German course, I can get residency there and study German. But that doesn't include medical is the problem. So it's not so much that I can't find a place to get to. It's that I would really like to put down some kind of roots for it, you know? Thank you, BJM. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Lisa, how long has it been here? It's been 5 weeks and I have 2 more to go. Yeah. I have 2 more to go. So, yeah. Well, there is, yeah, it's Cynthia, you can get a residency, you know, again, it's a student residency, but it doesn't, it's not a certain age. As long as you are enrolled in a accredited German course through a school of some kind, like a German language school, you can get residency for 6 months, a year, up to a year, I think, maximum. So actually, the student visas are harder for France. It's easier for places like Spain or Germany than it is for France, believe it or not. So yeah, I've already looked into some of this, guys. There's some other possibilities that I'll talk about later. But yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. And I have to kind of see what's going on in the US by the fall too. And I don't want to go back to a complete insanity and chaos. So I have to just see I'm keeping abreast of what's going on in the US. So anyway, I don't know what the challenge is about it. I just know their student visa thing isn't as easy as the German and the Spanish one is. That's about in preliminarily looking at it. Susan, yes, that's true, but they want money in the bank in Portugal. You have to have like 9,000 euro or whatever in the bank, 9,000 and something. I don't remember what the exact amount is, but you have to have that in the bank too. So yeah, their monthly income requirement for Portugal is low, but you have to still have savings. And so I'd have to build up savings to be able to do that. So that isn't happening yet, but I mean, I have a lot of expenses right now. So anyway. Okay, so what I was going to talk about, let me talk let's see. I already talked about the luggage thing, and by the way, this pseudo backpacky thing I have, I'm not super happy with. So when I get to Dijon, I'm not going to replace it right now, but I actually may get more of a traditional backpack, which I think would be easier. It's probably around the same size, but I think an actual backpack would be easier for me. So I may think about replacing that when I get there, but I'm not going to do it right now. I already, I can only do things a bit at a time here. So No, I don't think you do, Noreen. It's specifically it's to do language study. So if you just want to study the German language, they allow you to have residency for a certain period of time. So, but you do have to you have to, of course, I'd have to pay a language school to do that. So then that's an extra expense as well. But the good thing about it is I might be able to get an actual like apartment in Germany somewhere rather than staying in Airbnbs, which would be a lot cheaper, probably. Depends on where I go. Some cities in Germany are too expensive. So, anyway, okay. I know, Christopher, YouTube's really bad about giving out notifications. I schedule it with YouTube at least 24 hours in advance, and they should be sending everyone a notification, but they're notorious for hit or miss. So anyway. All right, yes, since somebody mentioned Social Security, I do have something to tell you guys though. So I had a real upset this week. Um I always get intuition. I've told you guys this. I'm very intuitive about things and I get like bad. Well, I've been very nervous about the whole, and again, we're not going into the whole political part of it. I'm just saying I'm nervous about Social Security. I think there is reason to be nervous about it. And so I'm concerned about that. So the thing is that I had a bad feeling leading up to this week. Now, my bank is an online, it's a based in the US, but it's an online bank. And I normally now get my Social Security like at least 2, 3 days early, rather than, normally I'd get it on the third of the month, but I've been getting it usually before the first of the month. So what happened this week is when my Social Security went in on Monday, but it was $370 short. And I just was like, what? Like, this is when you're sitting over in another country, you don't need to see this. So let me explain to you what happened. I know what happened, but it's still, they made a mistake. So the thing is, so they shorted me $370, and which is probably about a quarter of my total amount. And so that was significant. So I did the math in my head really quickly and I realized probably what it was. So before I left the US, I went to my local Social Security office. This was about the beginning of February. And I had gone off Medicaid because I'd been on Medicaid when I still qualified. And I had gone off that. But while I was overseas, I wanted to not pay the Part B Medicare premium, which is $185 a month, because it's useless to me while I'm overseas. And I was assured, I went into the office. This was before things got really crazy with Social Security stuff. This was back in the beginning of February. And I went into the Social Security office and I signed a form. The guy said, no problem, just sign this and explain why you don't want to have Part B premium for now. And he says, as long as you come back to the US within a year, in less than a year, you won't get charged a penalty. It's only like each year that you would be out of the US, you would get a penalty for not paying Part B. But I didn't even, like an idiot, I didn't even get a copy of that. I didn't ask him. He didn't offer me a copy, and I didn't ask for a copy of that. But I signed this. The guy was really nice. I was assured everything was going to be fine. So what I believe happened is either that didn't get filed, or I don't know. Something overwrote it potentially, but I think what happened is when they were calculating, the change now that I didn't have Medicaid anymore, I think they just started, well, I know they did because I went in and looked at my account on Social Security. They just started deducting for Part B premium, even though I had said I wanted to cancel that, which you are able to do. You can cancel that. So So now I'm out $370 unexpectedly. So that was not pleasant. And that means every month now I'm going to get $185 deducted off my Social Security. That doesn't benefit me in the least because I'm not in the US and I can't get US medical care. So, I don't know what caused it. I'm not a conspiracy theorist that, they went after me or anything like that. No, it's just that somehow something got screwed up in the system where they either didn't, um, well, that's the problem, Una. How am I supposed to contact them? I can't do it online. I already went into the Social Security website. There's no way to discuss this online with them, which means I have to call them. And you can only call them until the 14th. And with the time difference, I have to call them at night and I'll probably be on hold for 5 hours because that's how bad the wait is now. And there's no guarantee they will take care of that because they're probably going to say, go to your local Social Security office and file a form. And I'm going to say, well, I already filed the form. But you see, I'm not in the US right now. So what am I actually supposed to do? So I'm really freaked out about this. I mean, it's not the end of the world because at least I'm still getting Social Security for now. But it's like now, it's basically, I'm losing, well, I lost 370 this month, and now I'm going to lose $185 a month. And I can't, I will try to contact them, but I don't hold out a lot of hope that that's going to do anything. No, no one can do it on my behalf, Una. You can't, yeah, it is very upsetting because I did not think that would get screwed up. Yeah, Rick, that's true. But the problem is that do you not realize that the wait time for Social Security right now is like hours to get through to help? Hours that you have to just spend on hold. And it's not easy doing that from another country is the problem. So I'm going to try it, saying it's really a bummer that they made a mistake like this. And anyway, like I said, it could be worse. It can always be worse, but that still could happen in the future. So, yeah, that's right. Everyone is calling, Jean-Marc. Absolutely. I know. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys for the super chats. Or super thanks. I really appreciate that. Thank you to, well, let me scroll back up here so I can. Thank you, Jan, and thank you, Rent Vale, for the assistance. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's just, I don't need surprises like that while I'm over here. I really don't. Of course, like I said, it can always be worse. So, and thank you, Una. It can always be worse. So I'm just grateful it wasn't worse, which, you have to be grateful or it just. Yeah, but Medicare doesn't help me, Doc. The problem is with Social Security. Medicare isn't going to do anything for me. It's for a Medicare Part B premium, but you have to go through Social Security to get that stopped because they're interconnected. So it's just, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys and any of you that are on Social Security, just, keep an eye on what's going on and keep your ears open and pay attention because, no, I can't email Karen, and there's no way through the actual Social Security site to protest this. There's no way to just through the website. So I'd either have to send a snail mail letter about it from France, or I have to try to call them before the 14th. So I will do it. Anyway, I don't want to spend the whole time on this. Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you very much. But I just wanted to share it because, I've been this whole Social Security thing. So, Kind Mind, yeah, but the embassy is in Paris, and I'm not sure that they're going to be able to help by phone for something like this. And honestly, I don't even know if they get involved in Social Security stuff. I'll be honest. So, for now, I mean, maybe by the time I get to London, I could. I am going to try to call. I'm definitely going to try to call. Yeah, but it's a Whirlpool of Music. It's actually through Social Security. Like that's I did the right thing when I went in February. They have a specific form for that. If you want to stop your Part B, you fill out this form, you sign it, you give the reason, and I did all that. That's where you do it. You don't do it through the Medicare. So I just have to get on the phone and be on hold for hours and hope I can reach somebody that will help. So I'm going to do that. Anyway, let's move on. Well, that's good, Lisa. I'm glad you had a good you're at least getting seen. Yeah, I know, Loretta. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, I know. And the thing is, if I were in the US, we had a Social Security office in the town I lived in, and since it's such a small town, it would be easy to go in there and talk to somebody if I were still there and get this solved really fast because the office is still open. I have friends that live in town there, and they have not closed that office. So, but I'm not there. That's the frustration. I'm just, I'm not in the US. So, anyway, okay. So let's move along. Else was I going to tell you? You guys, on my video, you saw we we had 3 days of wind here. I mentioned it in that video, but I don't think I really talked about how crazy it was. So I couldn't even let Lucy out in it because she would have gotten blown over. Well, she would have gotten blown up in like a typhoon or something. Geez. Anyway, I went out one time out of 3 days. The wind was so bad. I've never experienced anything like that. It's not that there was like this constant level of wind, but then there was these gusts, and I know my screen is freezing, guys. I have no control over that. I'm sorry, but anyway, thank you guys for chiming in with advice over there. But anyway, I literally almost got slammed to the ground by a wind gust. And I'm not a lightweight. And I'm like, how? This isn't good. I get injured by wind and have to go to the hospital with broken bones. So I did not go out for 3 days. So I went a little stir crazy. I really did. Because the sound of that wind, it was just like this, ooh, ooh, like just, oh my God. All at night. You know how like wind will die down at night? No, not this. And this is called, it's not the Mistral, which is what they call it in more southeastern France, is like the Mistral, I think it is. This is called the Tramontane in French, Tramontane, and it's specifically in this area of France. And they get this. I was talking to someone who lives here, and they were saying, yeah, it happens like several times a year that they get this for a few days at a time. And it just won't let up for like days. And apparently it can last for longer than that. And I'm thinking, okay, put that on the negative tally sheet for living here because Tramontane. Yeah, Tramontane. Well, it's Tramontane is the way I looked it up online. Tramontane. Anyway, bad. Just I've never I mean, maybe I've seen that happen. Like, obviously when you're in a hurricane or something, you have massive wind gusts. So that's, different. But this was just like, it was just the thing that was so brutal about it. Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. But the thing that was so brutal about it is that it just kept going. for 3, 4 days. It actually started last Thursday, and it went Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were brutal. I mean, just brutal. And then it kind of started easing up on Monday. Yeah. But I had no idea they had that in this part of the France. So, yeah, that went on the negative list for anyway, we made it through. I did not let Lucy out. No way. She would have ended up in the sky somewhere getting blown around, who knows where. So, yeah, we made it through. But I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get out. I couldn't walk. Couldn't do anything because I was too, I mean, if I were a young person, I would have, but at my age, I get blown to the ground. And, like I said, I'm going to break something. So that wasn't going to happen. Oh, Janice, there's bad weather even in Paris today. Actually, it was okay here. Cloudy. It wasn't blue sky today, but but it was nice. I mean, it was in the low 60s. We're still not getting like we had one day of really like warmer weather, and then most of the time the highs in the around 60, 62, something like that. So anyway, okay. Yeah, Lucy has to stay in when there's that kind of wind. There's no question. Oh, that's weird, Una. It's sunny in England at this time of year? Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi, Janice. Anyway, let me see what else I wanted to. Oh, you guys ask me any other questions you have or whatever. Well, I know there. Oh, one other thing I was going to tell you is I did meet up with Jeff the expat again in town. In fact, he was the one that told me about the wind situation, the gusts of wind. He admitted, even him, and he's a tall guy. He's like 6'4" or something, but he said the wind practically knocks him down too when that happens. So anyway, yeah, we got together and we met up, and so I had another good chat. I kind of, give him some info about, what it's like having a YouTube channel, because I've been doing this a lot longer than he has. And then and he tells me a lot about, what it's like living here and in France. So it's really nice. Very nice guy. And I'm going to see him, I think, one more time before I leave town. We're going to probably go out and just kind of meet up for lunch or something. So, yeah, I'm really glad to make his acquaintance, because it's nice to have contacts in, place contact in every place I go to, that I meet up with somebody who is either, not necessarily an American, but just anybody that's living there that, is somebody that's good to connect with at times, or if I'm ever in town again, I can get together with. So yeah. Well, he didn't bring his cat to yeah, I do have WhatsApp, Miss Sierra. Yeah, I do have WhatsApp. In fact, that's how I've been chatting with. Actually, that's how. And then, but yeah, yeah, Jeff's a really nice guy, and we have a lot in common as far as just our perspective and on the world and things in general. And it's really nice. And he's a nice guy. He's had an interesting life, and it's just he's young. He's like 8, 9 years younger. So I mean, I'm not. He's not quite in my same demographic totally, but he's had a very interesting life. So yeah. Anyway, no, I'm not at all, Dennis. We're we're just we're no, please stop with all that stuff, guys. It's not even like this. But anyway, Monica's asking, what do I eat when I don't go out to eat? Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. So I finally kind of mastered the induction stove. So I was able to make eggs and stuff. Oh, hi, Lisa. so much. That's very kind of you. But I know YouTube takes 30%. I know it's weird. But anyway, I got the induction stove to work for eggs and stuff. And then the other day, yesterday, I think it was yesterday for lunch, I made pasta. I got some pasta and sauce at the store and some Parmesan, and which was really good. It was like Parmesan Reggiano and just like already shredded, but really good, like much better quality Parmesan than I'm used to. Anyway, I made pasta for lunch on this stove. I wasn't eating great for a while here because I was eating mostly sandwiches and just like cheese and fruit and stuff like that, and French bread. But I do, yeah, I finally think the key to the induction stove is never lock it. Don't lock it. So because the locking mechanism was really weird on it, and when I finally got it unlocked and I just didn't relock it, it's fine. So I know. I don't understand why induction stoves have to be they're odd to me. They function in an odd way. Like I'm used to turning, whether it's a gas stove or an electric stove, um, just, doing the knob on the stove. And this is very counterintuitive to me. But yes, I am learning that. Unfortunately, when I get to Dijon, I will not have any cooktop. I will have a microwave, I will have a refrigerator, and I think maybe like a kettle to heat, like, water for tea or something. I think that's it. So I'm mostly going to be eating out once a day when I'm in Dijon, and then I'll have like sandwich stuff in the fridge and stuff to have. So I probably will eat out a little more there. I'm not eating out that much here. I'm eating out like 3 times a week, just for lunch, only for one meal and just for lunch usually. But when I get to Dijon, it probably will be more, at least 4 days a week. I'll probably eat out for lunch. I don't eat dinner really. I mean, if I eat anything later in the afternoon, it's like just having like some cheese or something like that. But yeah. But in Dijon, the place I'm staying is right in the city center. So it's really accessible to everything. And apparently it's in a really good location. But I'll have lots of places to choose from to go to. Don't know if I'm going to ride the bus there or not. I may not need to because I'm in such a central place. So we'll see. I know, Connie, actually, one of my favorite things is actually having a baked potato with cottage cheese on it instead of butter. But you know what? I haven't found cottage cheese over here yet. I know they have it. Do they have it in the UK? Please tell me they have it in the UK. But yeah, I think I can use the microwave, Rick. Thank you, though. Yeah. I don't know. Do they have cottage cheese? Because I've been in 3 different markets, like food markets, and I have yet to see cottage cheese. So, okay. No, see, some people are saying no cottage cheese in France. Okay. But it's definitely in the UK. I know, because I love cottage cheese. In fact, I like cottage cheese, just having that like with eggs, like making scrambled eggs and just having cottage cheese on the side. I love that. So, okay, thank you guys. I'll be able to get it in UK for sure. That's great. Creme fraiche, that's not the same thing though. No. Yeah. Okay. I chose Dijon, Martine, because I wanted a city that was more kind of in central France that wasn't Paris, obviously. It's a little on more the eastern side of central France, but it's supposed to be a really great city. It's not huge. It's not one of the bigger ones. But they're supposed to have good food there. That was one thing I read about it. And it just, I don't know, it just struck me as a place I'd like to see what if I like it or not. I know they have more of a temperate climate. They have more, real like colder weather in the winter and stuff like that. Which, if I were actually living in a place, that would be, that would be fine. So, yeah. Hi, Kay from Kansas City. Oh, you did find cottage cheese at Monoprix? Okay, Muriel. We'll keep that in mind. I probably will check it when I get to Dijon. I'm not going to worry about it while I'm here, but I'll probably check it because I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of markets that are, close to me there, and I can go see it. Oh, so before I forget, let me read a comment of the week. Um, oh, that was weird. I just took a picture. All right, let me read a comment of the week. This is from my video that I did on the having to get rid of stuff and having my own personal Oregon Trail story. Okay. So this is from Rebecca R. And I don't think Rebecca's in the chat, but anyway, I like the way she said this. She talks about the fact that the stuff we have ends up owning us. So she says, the stuff you own owns you. I was blissed out with my day pack only for 5 months of European travel. Like you, I had put stuff in storage. I have been back for 6 years and my stuff is still in storage. Though I have moments, I love that. I will not do that. I'll not keep stuff myself. I will not keep stuff in storage for 6 years. But anyway, she says, though I have moments of missing certain items, I just feel overwhelmed by stuff after the joy that my minimalist travels brought me. You need to roll everything up. Doing so, you will have more space. It's just stuff. The sense of liberation outweighs having an extra change of clothes. That is one of the perks of solo travel. What is that? She says that's one of the perks of solo travel too. Same shirt, so what? I love that. Same shirt, so what? Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's where I'm trying to get to. I wouldn't say I've total minimalist thing, but I I'm getting there. And maybe by the end of this trip I will have gotten there. I'll be good with 3 or 4 changes of clothes and that's it, and I won't worry about it. And by the way, I just wanted to say something else too about that, about the clothing and the packing. I got so many comments from people saying, "Oh, well, you can just go to a thrift store and get, just take, and if you need an extra piece of clothing, you just go to a thrift store." Okay, guys, I wear plus sizes, okay? And I can tell you for a fact, not easy to get, especially in France in a thrift store, because they don't have a tremendous amount of plus size clothing in this country anyway. Now, maybe in the UK would be easier, but yeah. So no, I'm not going to be able to easily get clothing in a thrift store. It's just not going to be something easy to do. So it's a little different. If I wore normal sizes, I wear like a 1X. So for me to get extra clothing over here, I even researched this before I came over here to see, and apparently in like some of the bigger stores like the department store and stuff, I guess they do have some plus size clothing, and even in France, but it's just not as common as it is in the US. So it's not easy to replace stuff. I just want to say that. So anybody that keeps suggesting that, please be aware of that. So yeah, probably in the UK, it'll be easier to find larger sizes in thrift places, possibly. So we'll see. Okay. Anyway, any other questions you guys have? We're almost at an hour. We'll go a little longer here. But any other questions you have? Oh, by the way, and again, not throwing shade by saying this, believe me, because I am a larger person. I'm overweight, okay? So, but here I have to tell you that I have really been paying attention to people's sizes here. Because when I was in France 23 years ago, and again, when I was in France then, I was only in Paris, and there were very few overweight people. There really were. And if I saw overweight people, they were generally tourists. So I can generalize to that. I mean, obviously, it's not 100%. I am seeing many more overweight people in France now. And so I'm thinking that's happening everywhere in Europe, that you're still seeing more overweight people here. In fact, I was waiting for the bus this morning to go out to the ocean or the sea, and the young woman that was waiting there, and I heard her speaking French to someone, and I could tell she, was probably a native to here. She was overweight. I'm seeing a lot more of that here this time than 23 years ago. So they should be carrying larger sizes now, but I don't know if they actually do. So anyway, just an observation. Again, no judgment, because I can never judge anybody else about being overweight. That's absolutely for sure. So yeah, it's not necessarily the case. In fact, it's really hard, like even today when I was waiting for the bus to come back from the sea. Like an older woman and two gentlemen were sitting there waiting for the bus. And they were speaking French fluently, like, I mean, as natives. And she was overweight. Now she was older. She was probably older than I am even, but she was older. So there is, yeah, I think what it is I think people are not eating as healthily as they used to. Maybe people aren't walking as much as they used to. I'm really not sure what's contributing to it, but it's kind of sad in a way because, several countries in Europe used to be known for, people were generally a healthy weight and they didn't have that problem like we do in the US. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and definitely not throwing stones about it. I'm just making an observation that I think it's really, interesting. So, yeah. Anyway, your lunch break in France is 2.5 hours. Yeah, I know. Hey, I had lunch today and I sat there for an hour and a half and I was by myself. So, let's see. Any other questions you guys have? We'll take another question or so. Um, oh yeah, like I said, there's no judgment involved at all in this. It's just an observation of something that I am seeing a difference. Yes, and that is true, Ciara. They are not smoking as much. This is another observation I've had. I am seeing fewer people smoking in France than I did 23 years ago. Absolutely. You can't smoke in restaurants anyway, unless you're outside, unless you're on on the patio or, outside on the, whatever they call that. But yeah, if you're in the outside portion of the restaurant, you can smoke, but you can't smoke inside. But I don't see tons of people smoking here. Today, when I went to the sea, I saw 3 people that were either sitting on a bench and at different times, but 3 different people smoking the whole time I was there. And that's not a lot. It used to be way more than that. So, no, Monica, I'm not talking to people about that here. So I wouldn't understand if they were, discussing stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, Jan, now I have to say there were overweight Italian people in my family because my grandmother, she wasn't hugely overweight, but she was overweight most of her adult life. And I don't know about her mom or, whatever, but I do know my grandmother struggled with that. But of course, she had lived in the US since she was 17 years old. She hadn't lived in Italy since she was 17. So, Anyway, thank you guys. Yeah, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit the like button. Okay, Carol, while I read your comment here, I guess it's worth potentially a try, but I just have a feeling that I'm still going to have to talk to Social Security. But I got to do that by the 14th because they're going to not have phone lines anymore. So I guess. It does depend on your genes to some degree, Jean-Marc. Yeah, I have. Well, part of the reason I gained, I mean, this is going back to why I gained weight in the first place. I never had a weight problem until I was in my late 30s. I never had a weight problem growing up. I never had a weight problem as a teenager, in my 20s, when I was pregnant, none of that. I started developing it because my thyroid went crazy. And we have a very strong genetic history of thyroid issues. My mom's mom had it. My mom had it. Her sister had it. Probably went back further generations as well, like just bad thyroids, especially among the women in the family. So that's what caused my initial weight gain. I gained weight for like no reason. I wasn't eating any differently. I wasn't eating more, and I wasn't going through menopause yet because I was only like late 30s. So it just, my thyroid went crazy. And so I thought I was so naive that I was like hopeful that when they finally took my thyroid gland out, because it was just so diseased by the time I was 50, I was hoping that without the thyroid, because I just take supplemental thyroid, I thought that I would be able to like lose a lot of that weight I had gained over that. No, no, it's still been a struggle because, of course, then I went through menopause and then, so it's just not easy. But I have kept off. I was like 40 pounds heavier than I am now about, was it 3 years ago? About 3 years ago. And I've kept that off now. So I need to lose about another 40 pounds to really feel like I'm, in a healthier area. But yeah. The thyroidectomy was easy to recover from. I mean, it wasn't hard surgery to recover from, but I just, like an idiot, I thought by taking thyroid now, I wouldn't have the problem of this thing causing the disruption to my metabolism and stuff. But no, it's still been a struggle. And they've actually had to adjust the dosage over the years because as you get older, your body changes and you need more or less thyroid at times. So I've had to have my dose adjusted occasionally. It is difficult. The older you get, it really is. And like my goal is not to be real thin. My goal is to just be a healthier weight. That's basically it. I mean, I exercise now. I get out. Today I walked 3 miles, guys. I walked 3 miles today. And I love it. I love doing that. But I got back and I was really tired for a couple of hours. Like I just had to kind of sit and relax. But yeah, I believe in, you still got to move. You still got to walk and stuff. So yeah. Hi. Oh, okay. Thanks for chiming in, everybody there. Yeah, my congressperson, I don't really have a congressperson now because remember, I don't have a residence. So I can't really call my congressperson, but thank you. I'll try the Medicare. I think I'll try Social Security. If I don't get anybody, I'll try Medicare number. Because I can call here. I'll have to turn my phone on for the day and pay the $12 to do that, but it's fine. I'll do it. I'll just pick it, and I'll have to do it in late afternoon and evening so that I can, my time, so that I can call them in the morning, their time, and see what I can do. I'll let you guys know hopefully by the next week's video, I'll let you know if I reached anybody. So, yeah, but I already changed my address, Ty. my technical legal address is in Sacramento now, because it's through a mail service thing, but I don't really have a I mean, I assume there is a congressperson for that area, but I just don't live there, so I don't really feel like that's anyway. And believe me, I'm just gonna say this, Zaza, the congressperson that was representing my last town was a worthless piece of something. Let's just say that. So I don't think they would be of any help. So I'll leave it at that. Anyway, oh, Susan's asking if I experience any kind of homesickness. No, not for the States in general, not for where I lived, not for, and I don't even really miss my friends because I still am talking to them. I think I miss certain things about the US. I I miss being easily able to order something on Amazon and get it delivered. I miss that. I miss the ease of that. Because that's how I basically did any shopping the last 6 years. And now, I mean, it's good because I'm saving money because I don't have to buy that stuff at all. But I know it'll be a little easier once I'm in the UK. I think it's a little easier to order from UK Amazon, but here I even asked Jeff about it. I said, "Do you order from Amazon?" He said, "Not that much." He says it's not as convenient here in France as it is, like in the US, of course. And so I miss things like that. I miss speaking English, because when I'm out, today I did I didn't speak one word of English today when I was out. I said something to the bus driver. I was in the restaurant. I spoke to my server. I did it all in French. I just don't speak English when I'm out. And it's good that I don't, but I can't have a real conversation. So, being able to talk with Jeff a couple of times has been really nice because we sit there and speak in English. Of course, when I call my friends back home, I'm able to speak to them, but that's only like one day a week usually with each of two people that I call there. So I miss being able to talk to people easily. And again, I know that once I get even to Dijon, it'll be easier because my host, who sounds like I think I mentioned this to you guys last time. My host sounds like such an interesting person. She and her husband are in their, I think they're around 80. But he was a doctor, she was a lawyer. They're very smart people. They're fluent in English. And if I sit and chat with them even once a week, that'll be nice, So yeah, if I lived here, Loretta, I would get used to it. But since I'm not going to be living here, I'm not, I am better at French already in 5 weeks than I was when I got here. But I'm not, I mean, it would probably take me living in France for about a year to get really fluent, what I would consider fluent. And I would have to probably take lessons on, like conversation lessons on, in person with someone. So, that may happen or may not, it may be German instead of French. I don't know. At this point, it may be something else. No, Christopher, no, I don't see that happening at all anywhere. But again, stranger things could happen, at some point. Actually, Doc, I didn't cancel my Prime membership because I get a reduced membership anyway, but also I use it to watch movies. That's the only one I have a membership to is Prime. I don't have Netflix or anything. I don't pay for any other subscriptions. But it is nice. It's handy to watch movies. So thanks Sierra for asking people to hit the likes. Yeah. I'm Diana. I'm staying in a Airbnb in Dijon. It's the cheapest Airbnb I'm staying in, though. It's only was like $675 for the month. So really good price for that. Of course, it does not have a washer. I'm going to have to go to a laundromat, but once a week, I guess that's fine. That's why I'm not going to dump any more clothing until I leave maybe there. And then I might do that. No, I don't watch TV at all, Jean-Marc. I know. I have watched some things on YouTube in French though, but I don't watch TV. I'm so not used to watching TV. I haven't had the TV since 2012. And I'm just not into watching, I don't need all the channels and stuff. Everything, I either watch movies, and sometimes I'd watch movies even through YouTube. Um, yeah, exactly. YouTube has millions of free movies. So I want, and of course you have to put up with ads, but I'll watch that. Or I just watch things on YouTube. I'm subscribed to a lot of people's channels. I have a lot of people I follow on there. So I do that. Yeah, I hear you, Doc. I know. That's why occasionally I will watch something in French. I see a lot of French commercials because my laptop, is thinks it's in France. I have a VPN on it. It's in France, and so I get ads on YouTube that are in French. So I actually watch the ads. So okay, well, anyway, I think we'll wrap it up for tonight. I don't think there was anything else really momentous I was going to tell you. Like I said, we're going to have 2 more live streams from Perpignan, and then we will. And thank all of you that helped out with the super chats tonight. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I know I can change the VPN, Jean-Marc, but for now, it says I'm in France, and I'm fine with that. Yes, Sunday. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, Sunday will be the going to the beach video. And so you guys will see some footage of that. There won't be as much. I'm going to talk a little bit at the end of that. And I will share another good story about a good interaction I had with somebody. It actually wasn't at the beach, but it happened yesterday. So I'm throwing it into this video for Sunday. Yeah, I thought it would make a nice thing. I had a viewer that said to me that she didn't like my videos because I was talking about negative things. And I said, well, okay, I'm sharing the good and the bad. So if you're not seeing any of the good, that means you're not watching my whole videos. So one of the reasons I'm trying to put this little thing at the end of the video about like some good interaction I had with somebody, because I think that's important, because I will talk about things that are like when I talked about the safety stuff, and I've talked about, just getting used to things here that are difficult to adjust to. And it's being real. And if people don't want somebody being real, then don't watch my channel. It's just as simple as that. But it doesn't make me feel bad when somebody says that. They just don't get it. They don't get what the point of my channel is. So, but I always try to have something uplifting about it too. It's about balance, guys. It's about balance. The good and the bad and the middle. And sometimes there's stuff in the middle. So thank you, Karen. I know. Well, you guys obviously like the channel, or you wouldn't be sitting here. You wouldn't be on my live stream. So yeah, but I have to do that because I do watch channels that I do like them. But the thing I get frustrated about is that they never talk about what's difficult about whatever situation they're in. And I'm like, if you don't, because the good thing about talking about the difficulties is you can sometimes come up with solutions to things as well. Like you're being real and working through a problem. And so hopefully that might help somebody watching And, I think and I just do it because this is who I am. I'm just, I am being real. I don't talk to you any differently on here than I would if I was sitting out having coffee with somebody. Like it's just the same thing. So I don't put on airs. I don't try to be something I'm not. Now, Lucy, she gets a little carried away with herself sometimes. No, she doesn't. She's wonderful. Wait, she wants to look right in the camera here. Okay, there she goes. Did you know I had somebody that actually said to me that it was ridiculous for having a toy that was meant for a 3-year-old on my channel? I'm like, people, can you first of all, what kind of lack of imagination do you have to not just appreciate having a llama sidekick? I mean, seriously, she is my alter ego. So I couldn't believe that person said that. I was just like, wow, a 3-year-old toy. I don't think they'd actually give her to a 3-year-old because they might choke on her eyelashes if they bit them off. And I don't know if she's completely child safe. Anyway, yeah, that was a shameless plug for Lucy. That's right, it was. So they're giving you love right now, Lucy. That's great. She is great. She was wonderful at the beach today. She let the wind blow her little fur. Most of the time, though, she just hangs out. She did love her trip. Oh, I have to tell you guys, though, it's in the video for Sunday. I have not seen the Pyrenees in all their glory since I've been here because when you're deep in the town here, you can't see the mountains. And so I went out to the beach, and then coming back, I was like, what? Like there's this looming range of the Pyrenees with snow on it. That's just like right there. And I got some footage of it on the bus coming in. And I was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's like looming behind where the town is. But I hadn't seen it. This is the first time I've seen it. So anyway, it is really beautiful. Thank you, Tina. Welcome to the channel. I know. What I mean is about the imagination is people don't realize there actually is kind of a therapeutic thing to having something you can kind of use your imagination with and you can use your creativity with, which is kind of what that's the value of what she provides. And it's just an ability to just be fun about something. And it's like, come on, just, anybody who doesn't understand, do they think I really just sit around and talk to her when I'm alone? Do I? No, I don't. I actually don't. Oh, Tina, so your grandmother subscribed then? But it's fine. If you want to talk to your stuffed animals, talk to your stuffed animals. There's no problem with that. But I'm just saying that I actually hadn't had I think I told you the story when I got Lucy. I hadn't had a stuffed animal in years. And actually, it isn't fun having her because she is kind of my alter ego. Like we don't have conversations just out loud to each other, obviously. Well, she doesn't speak, but I do, I view her as the best part of me. Like the qualities that Lucy has are the best qualities I have. And so sometimes when I just need a pick me up, I look at Lucy and I think, what would Lucy do? That's WWLD. What would Lucy do? Because usually Lucy is going to, she's the brave one. She's the one that can work through anything. She's been through it all. So that's why it's valuable. It's just, actually, when you do therapy with people, like as a counselor, one of the things you do with people sometimes is called the empty chair technique. And one way you can do that, there's many ways you can use empty chair, but one of the ways is having a person have a discussion with themselves. Like they actually switch between the chairs and they talk like they talk like a part of them who would not be afraid of something, let's say, talks to the part of you that would be afraid. And it's actually very therapeutic. So it's just using another conduit for that, basically. So yeah, it's very gestalt. That's right, Una. It is gestalt. And it's wonderful. So that's actually, I mean, I shouldn't even have to explain this, but considering I have viewers that think I've lost my mind because I have a emotional support llama, I mean, sorry, but you know. Anyway, thank you guys. We almost went an hour and a half again. It's 9:21 my time. So thank you all for being here. I hope you have a good rest of your like tomorrow and the weekend. And it does, yeah, it is kind of like Wilson on Castaway. It is. Yeah, she is like that. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll be back here next Thursday. Again, look for my video on. Oh, you guys got me to over 300 likes. Good for you. You did great. And thank you. I don't know if my moderator, Inner You, is still in here, but Inner You, if you're still here, thank you. And no, I do not dream of Lucy. I do not. No, don't. She doesn't want to hear that. Anyway, I'll let you guys know the updates of what's going on next week. And anyway, have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Keep moving. Above all, keep moving forward. Because you know what? That mantra has never been more useful than it is now to me in this situation. I just keep moving forward. You just got to do that. So thank you all. You guys have been wonderful today. I always love the chat. Anyway, thank you, John, Una, Nancy, Lucinda, Noreen, Susan, Lisa, Tina, Jean-Marc, Great Zaza, all of you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll check in with you next Thursday. Same time. Bye.